Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Endo as the blue Terran player. We have keeMacHwee spawning as the red Terran player over here. Across the map we have I am spawning as the purple Protoss player, and Gradius spawning as the teal Zerg player. So this is in fact a 2v2 map. I forget the name of this map, but I will make sure that I include it in the description. Once again, you guys should all recognize Gradius' name. Gradius is on staff for StarCraft Legacy. He quickly came on and I was like, yeah, I want to do some 2v2 games. So 2v2 games are in fact fairly interesting. Now, one thing to note, both me and Gradius chose random, so our opponents definitely have no idea what our strategies are in fact going to be, or even our races, so they have to really push out a little bit more. Terran players generally like to wall up a little bit, try to mass as many units. This is probably the best map that they could hope for, as double Terrans can easily wall off this position very quickly. Now getting a barracks down, I'm waiting for a barracks, another barracks being put down by Endo, so there's only a single way to really get into this position. So red and blue versus purple and teal. Now getting that single gateway on this particular map, you have to be careful. You have to make sure that you mass up enough units to really be able to push back any early attack. Coming back over here, we have a spawning pool coming in from Gradius. Both of us decide that we should be massing as quickly as possible. He's going to be making Zerglings, as I'm going to be making Zealots. Not the best unit combination, perhaps Roaches and Zealots would have been a better combination, but we'll see how this particular game goes. Probes still being produced. Taking a look at the income right now, 14 versus 13, 16 for me, as I was able to use that chrono boost. So that chrono boost giving me a definite early economic advantage. Coming back over here, now finally getting the assimilator, opponent getting the assimilator, and both players getting that, only Endo getting that early orbital command center, or orbital command. Key still trying to mass up as much, trying to get as much gas as possible. Perhaps he's going to be trying to do teching. So taking a look at this, Endo getting that secondary barracks, so that does look like he will in fact be trying to doing some teching. I come in over on this side, see the orbital command, realize that Endo was probably going to be massing, but I do not get enough time to really look into Key's base over here. My probe is taken down by that Marine before it is able to get back over. So, and now we have Key finishing off this particular wall. Key now getting that factory into position, and we also have some tech labs going down. So perhaps some Marauders and some Reapers, but most likely Marauders in this particular matchup, as any Terran player should probably be concerned about Stalkers and probably realizes that I will not be trying to go mass Zealots, not on this particular map, as melee doesn't work as well in a 2v2 game. You want more ranged units generally. Gradius now just sitting with a single queen, getting some Zerglings, and we both have our units rallied to this front door, able to push back hopefully any attack that really comes in. The Zealots a little bit more ahead, as they want to draw the focus fire. They have more hit points, and then the Zerglings can really come in around and deal the majority of that damage. Taking a look, I am already trying to take my Nexus, trying to take this natural expansion that is so close to me. My strategy at this point is I want to get as much gas as I can. Gas seems to be the very large limiting factor in a lot of StarCraft 2 strategies. So if you have a chance to take an earlier gas, that may give you a very strong incentive or a strong push to your tech. Now getting that robotics facility as well. I'm sitting on 222 gas already, as I'm using a lot of my minerals on these Zealots and just pylons and that Nexus, so that Nexus hope has not paid for itself just quite yet. Coming back over here, still not much to really report except for keeMacHwee now, keeMacHwee getting dual starports and probably going to be going Banshees. So Banshees, a straight tech to Banshee is a very strong play. Gonna go ahead and lift off one of those starports, drop it back down, and then lift off another starport, and then move it over to these barracks. So he's going to be producing his Banshees very quickly. Taking a look at the worker count, keeMacHwee only sitting on 19 workers, Endo sitting on 16, while Gradius and I are both sitting on 26 and 27. We do in fact have, or Endo does in fact have, a couple Marauders sitting on this Zelnaga watchtower. as we have Zerglings now moving out across that field. Quick Zergling gets killed by those Marauders up on that high ground. As he still activates that Xel'Naga Watchtower, Zergling's still moving around that map. Zergling's wanting to generate as much sight as possible, so he is using those Zerglings to control those Xel'Naga Watchtowers. So right there and right there, getting very, very decent control of the map, realizing what attacks are going to be coming out. Taking a look at the armies, we see Endo sitting on an 800 army, Gradius sitting on 475, I'm only sitting on 300, while keeMacHwee now sitting on 150, but he is in fact getting those Banshees, so those Banshees are going to be a very, very difficult problem for us. I did finish researching the Warpin ability, and now I'm getting a Robotics Bay. I was expecting my opponents to try to mass up a lot of infantry, and if he was able to mass up a lot of infantry, I would definitely need those Colossi, or some Colossuses, or no, Colossi or a Colossus in order to push back. Immortal is also a very, very strong unit, as that allows you to counter any siege tanks. Now Zergling's trying to take down the rest of these units. The speed upgrade on those Zerglings just finished researching, so able to finish the rest of those Marauders down. So taking a lot of losing a lot of resources by losing all of these Marauders here. So losing those Marauders, and now those Banshees continuing to push, and now those Banshees just trying to continue to chase. So those Banshees dealing 24 damage per splash, so that is in fact a lot of damage to deal. I'm looking at my base and I realize I only have 2 warp gates, and I don't have anything to really counter this. No stalkers, and not enough warp gates to really counteract these particular Banshees. We have a couple Queens in play trying to fight back against this single army right here. These Queens should probably be trying to focus down these Banshees. One of these Banshees down to a very, very low hit point. Another one trying to get down to a low hit point. And now I have bring in a couple of Zealots. I want him to try to take on these Immortals and these other units. I do not want him to try to take down these drones, because the drones are really what he really should be targeting after. I want him to really focus down on this army. Coming back over here on this minimap, we see more Banshees now coming into play. So 2 more Banshees just waiting right outside, as those Banshees are now trying to focus down this spawning pool. Spawning pool already down to 400 hit points. Taking a look, we have a Hydralisk Den being built by Gradius. So Gradius trying to produce as many units as he can. I am in fact getting some more pylons as well, and I'm going to be warping in some Stalkers. So coming back over here, I think I was able to focus down perhaps 1 or 2 low hit point Banshees. One Banshee down to 9 hit points, but still dealing a lot of damage, and still a really, really large thorn in our side. More warp gates now being produced. A single Stalker sitting back over here. Army-wise, we are looking to be in really, really bad trouble. I'm sitting on a 63 food army, but my Colossi really not going to be able to counteract those Banshees, and now those Banshees are cloaked. So those cloaked Banshees are going to be a definite problem. We have another spawning pool being built into play. More Banshees coming in, so a very large number of Banshees trying to come back. And I originally wanted to post this for StarCraft Legacy, but because of the lag, I'll probably just post this on my site, on my YouTube channel, as it's not going to get past the quality control, unfortunately. Wow, this is pretty bad. Banshees now once again cloaking back up, and more units trying to push in on this front side. Siege tank from Endo now moving in as well. More those Banshees still now trying to take down the Spire. The Spire gonna get taken down fairly quickly. Overseer up in the air, able to detect these Banshees though. And now we have Hydralisk being produced. So a fair number of Hydralisks now coming out, gonna quickly start shooting down these Banshees. So one set of Banshees getting taken down, more Banshees getting taken down. Stalkers coming in to finish off the rest of this fight. And now we have finally countered that whole entire Banshee threat. Another Banshee coming in, but quickly getting taken out. More gateways now being warped in, so I'm going to be able to produce units from 6 gateways. I'm going to be transferring them to warp gates in just a moment. Grady is telling me that we're already not off to a good start. Getting more Colossi, and I want those Colossi to have that range upgrade, as the Colossi with range upgrade is able to just shoot very, very far and deal a lot of damage. Coming back over here, taking a look at the time, I realize I'm going to have to say this. Stay tuned for part 2 and the conclusion of this replay between myself, Gradius, Endo, and keeMacHwee here on... actually, I forget the name of this map, but I'll make sure to post this. Thanks for watching.